Athletes, coaches, team representatives, and other fans will not be tolerated and are drawn to removal from the stadium. Please refrain from throwing objects on the playing field, blowing whistles, and interfering with the flow of the game. Spectators caught engaging in such actions will be removed from the premises and possibly arrested.
Our greenways in Cary are a place to stay healthy and active, to stay connected with friends, or our favorite podcast. They offer a place to unwind, or to go all out. With nearly 100 miles to explore, Cary's natural beauty waits to be discovered around every turn. Our greenways connect us to our parks, our neighbors, and all throughout the triangle. And we celebrate these connections this year, as we do every year, by stepping onto the greenway and seeing where it takes us.
The North Carolina Football Club and the town of Cary welcome you to Wakeford Soccer Park for tonight's match between NCFC and Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC. I'd like to thank you, Johnson Subaru of Cary, for being tonight's sponsor. Johnson Subaru provides a vast selection of new and used vehicles, exceptional car care, and customer service with a smile. They're committed to their community and providing amazing customer experiences in and outside of the dealership. Be sure to stop by Johnson Subaru of Cary dealership today. '24 season tickets on sale now. Prices starting at just $8 per match. And if you pay in full before November 1st, you'll also get free parking for the 2024 season. Be sure to scan the QR code on the video board to get your 2024 season tickets today or at northcarolinafc.com/season tickets. Here tonight's match officials, please welcome referee Alexis De Silva, assistant referee Nicholas Seymour, assistant referee Zach McWhorter. Our fourth official this evening is Nabil Ben Salah. Here's tonight's starting lineup for the Northern Colorado Hailstorm. Please welcome their captain, number 4, Rob Cornwall. In goal, Lalo Delgado. Number 27 is Bruno Rendon. Number 14, Arthur Rogers. Number 5, Leo Falla. Number 7, Lucky O'Hara. Number 8, Mortai Norte. Number 34 is Danny Robles. Number 19, Billy King. Number 66, Noah Powder. And number 9, Trevor Amon. Northern Colorado Hailstorm is led by head coach Iman Zayed and assistant coaches Colin Falvey and Tim Murray. Fans, please welcome Jackson Cunwall to the field for our game ball delivery. Jackson is the winner of the Ultimate Playoff Experience Contest through NCFC's social media. Be sure to follow North Carolina FC on Instagram, Facebook,
And we welcome you to WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina for the 2023 USL League One playoffs right here on ESPN+. Tonight is the semifinals, and for these two clubs, North Carolina FC and Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC, all the hopes, dreams, and goals of a championship are one step closer to reality with a victory and a spot in the final next week. As you look at the bracket, the Players' Shield winners Union Omaha and North Carolina FC received byes to the semis after finishing in the top two of the regular season, and it was true to form as the top four seeds advanced, with Northern Colorado defeating Forward Madison 4-1 and Charlotte Independence taking down Greenville 3-2 in the quarterfinals last week. So there you have it. How about North Carolina FC? I'm Dean Linke along with Andrew Tate, and great to have a semifinal game here at WakeMed Soccer Park.
Yeah, it's been a couple of tough years here in Cary, and it's great to see all that hard work, especially over the last year plus, to get them to where they are today.
All right, there are a couple of dynamic duels for both these teams. We'll start with the home team, North Carolina FC. Two wonderful forwards up top.
Absolutely, Dean. And these strikers have so much in their locker. On their own, they're brilliant. They're a dynamic duo. I liken them to Paul McCartney and John Lennon. They're stars in their equal right, but when they combine and collaborate, they can produce some fantastic things. Olex Anderson, 17 goals, 6 assists, partnered with Garrett McLaughlin, 9 goals and 7 assists on the season.
Meanwhile, of course, Northern Colorado has a prolific duo as well.
Yeah, and I'm going to go a totally different direction with this one, Dean. I've got Batman and Robin. Trevor Armand's Batman. He gets all the attention, all the spotlight. 26 goals, the Golden Boot winner, and the USL League One record for goals in the season. But he wouldn't be anything without his sidekick, Arthur Rogers. 11 assists on the season, and 7 of those are direct providers to Trevor Armand. 6 of those on his head.
As we mentioned, stars all over the field, as Rafa Menzigen's had a big-time season in his first year with North Carolina FC. He'll be in the starting lineup, and so will Luis Perez. We'll bring you both teams' starting lineups, and we'll have the kick for semifinal of USL League One. It's North Carolina FC taking on Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC.
Bring home 7 days of savings with daily deals from The Fresh Market. Shop Mondays for buy one, get one free deals, including mouth-watering bacon and crab cakes. Tuesdays get chuck and chicken for just $3.99 per pound. Wednesdays save on shrimp and sashimi tuna. And shop Thursdays for tasty, easy meals under $10, including $7 pizzas. Then grab our 3-day weekend deals on the best meat and seafood, like gourmet burgers, lobster tails, and more. Don't wait to save. Shop The Fresh Market today.
With a brood like that to take care of, WakeMed Urgent Care ought to come in handy. We're everywhere you are, so accessing the care they need when they need it is easy. Soccer star? Covered. Your kids? Your baby? Done. The biggest baby of all? Virtual urgent care to the rescue. Now how convenient is that? Download the WakeMed All Access app today and take care of everyone in the family, including you-know-who.
Weldon Mills Distillery, born from the rich heritage of North Carolina. We craft some of the finest bourbon and spirits that are destined to be discovered by the world. There are no shortcuts to excellence, and that's why our mantra is simple. Never let efficiency get in the way of excellence. The foundations of our spirits are sourced right here in North Carolina, and our commitment to excellence has led to our continued growth and expansion. We are proud to offer a broad portfolio of brands that will stand the test of time.
For the first time since 2019, North Carolina FC in any iteration of their 17 years have advance to the playoffs as it's the semifinals of USL League One against Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. Andrew Tate first for the home team, North Carolina FC, led by John Bradford.
Yeah, John Bradford is going with a tried and tested lineup, really. We've seen this many times this season. It's a steady back four of Lou Young, Garcia, Fernandez, Flores Blanco, with the young Brooks Thompson in goal. Returning in midfield is Mikey Maldonado after sitting out with yellow card accumulation. And then up top, the return of top goal scorer OLX Anderson to partner Garrett McLaughlin, the captain.
All right, and the starting lineup for Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC, led by Iman Zayed. And
we've seen a few changes and things like that. We're not quite sure exactly how they're going to line up, but this is what we believe is the most likely to see. They're bringing in Danny Robles into the midfield. He'll bring some extra industry with Marky Hernandez dropping to the bench, but it's going to be a really interesting tactical battle today between Iman Zayed's team and head coach John Bradford for North Carolina.
Both these teams have had record-breaking seasons. I mean, simply fantastic. North Carolina FC set records for wins in a season with 19. Their previous record was 17. That was when they played in the NASL. Points in a season, 63. Their previous record was 56 in 2019 when they were in the USL Championship, where they will return next year. Points per game, goals per game, new records. Meanwhile, Northern Colorado improved by 20 points from their debut year to this year. So both teams with incredible years, and both teams red hot here as we hit the semifinal button. Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC in the white uniform, North Carolina FC in the blues, and semifinals of USL League One action underway here on ESPN Plus from WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary. One more time, North Carolina FC and Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC. Dean Linke with Andrew Tate. We can tell you that Union Omaha and the Charlotte Independents have gone to overtime. They're at zeros in a game that looks like Union Omaha has been peppering the goal, but to no avail, and that one will head to overtime.
Yeah, it's kind of what we expect, isn't it? We expected a tight game. Union Omaha to dominate the ball and probably dominate the lion's share of the chances, and that's the way it's gone. But as we know, it's fine margins, and Charlotte hanging on in there, taking its extra time. You wouldn't bet against going to penalties too, Dean.
They'll play 2 15-minute overtimes, and then if they need to, they will go to penalties. Brooks Thompson, acquired on loan from Philadelphia of MLS, and he's done quite well. He's just pretty steady, right? He's got a long, lanky body, and John Bradford likes him a lot.
Yeah, he's only 19, so he's come in, done a really good job.
Olex Anderson Jr. finds Raheem Summersall. Now McLaughlin, overlapping run coming from Lou Young. Summersall will drop it. He's hoping to find McLaughlin. So good.
Yeah, just touching on Brooks Thompson there. He came into the team. There was a lot of changes in the goalkeeper position with young Nick Holliday getting injured, Tor Saunders getting injured. Trevor Mulqueen came in there, but he came in, really steadied the ship, found his feet, and has been an ever-present since then. There's been no question about who the number one is, and done a really good job for North Carolina this season.
Let's take a look at the keys from John Bradford for North Carolina FC in this one. Break it down there for us.
Yeah, obviously, you don't need to be a genius, Dean, to say we've got to keep your eye on Trevor Armand. If he finds any space in and around the box, he is absolutely lethal. So the two centre-backs, Fernandez and Garcia, will have to keep careful watch of him. Then they've got to start strong. We've seen many times at home they've gone behind, and the record at home has been nowhere near as good as their away form. So they've got to make sure they stay on top of that.
Turned over, and right in front, Nelson Flores Blanco comes over. We'll bring you the keys for a Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC win in a moment. But right now, Hailstorm trying to get off to that quick start that John Bradford so desperately wants. Here's the keys for Northern Colorado.
Yeah, and it stopped the NCFC transition with the fantastic four of McLaughlin, Olex Anderson, Perez, and Rafa Mensingen. They've got to make sure that North Carolina doesn't need the ball. They've got to make sure they're aware when they turn over the ball. But then they've got to make sure they keep things under wraps emotionally. It's a big game, and we do know they've got some fiery characters. And then set pieces. They've got 11 goals from set pieces this season, and with the right boot of Arthur Rogers, it's an absolute lethal combination that NCFC has to be focused at all times on.
Noah Powder. He earned the whistle. Now he'll take it. He's going to take a shot, and it's not on frame. That will not challenge Brooks Thompson at all. I want to reiterate that Northern Colorado improved by 20 points after their debut year last year, from 42 to 62. They had a 12-match unbeaten streak, tied for third in USL 1 history, a record for wins, points, and goals in a second-year club. No second-year club has accomplished what this Northern Colorado Hailstorm team has done. Garrett McLaughlin's going to leave it. Rafa Mensingen. And Rafa Mensingen not on frame. Boy, North Carolina FC looks really tidy with everything but the final shot.
Yeah, and it's Raheem Somersault who's had a really bright opening stage here. It's a great touch from McLaughlin. Once he sets it to Mensingen, he has to hit the target. A player of his quality on his favoured right foot. And he just gets it all wrong there, but a really good early look for the home team.
And Zayed scored a lot of goals on this field as a pro, and has done a really nice job with this team and with that sweater.
Yeah, his sweater game has been getting a lot of likes, I feel, social media-wise. It's certainly gaining a reputation. But yeah, he's a real character, very passionate individual, and he's done a really good job with the Hailstorm. A lot of good things coming out of that.
And then John Bradford, still the top of the academy for NCFC, who really are starting to develop that youth to pro system, and they've got an exciting announcement they made this week, partnering with a top club in Mexico. We'll have more on that at halftime as well. That will kind of slide in and collaborate in that youth to pro model.
Yeah, there's lots of gaps and cracks sometimes with where you need players to go and develop, and some really exciting opportunities. I know there's been some connections with the club on the Courage side, and then with some of the younger players going over there on trial and things like that. So now to really formalize that relationship and develop it further is exciting for the club.
Rogers gets the call for the foul. The referee is Alexis De Silva. Here's McLaughlin. Rafa gives it up to Somersault. Rafa over the head of Nelson Flores Blanco to go out of bounds. A little bit of an unforced error that time. North Carolina FC averaging 1.81 goals per game. Their previous record was 1.79 way back in 2011. Also points per game at 1.97. A new record. Their previous record was 1.93, set in 2011 when they wore the orange and were named the Carolina Railhawks. Somersault looked like he had a legit argument there. Fernandez. And it's knocked out of bounds. Fernandez and David Garcia have established themselves. It's worth noting that Daniel Navarro is back, but not remotely close to 90 minutes fit, and I think they're going to ride Fernandez and Garcia all the way home. We'll have to find out where home is. We'll try to let you know if any goals happen in the Omaha-Charlotte semifinal game. And at halftime, with North Carolina FC entering and returning to USL Championship next year, we'll get you caught up on USL Championship playoffs as well, where the top two seeds have already been knocked out. Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay already gone. Long throw, kept alive, Perez. Flores Blanco. Good effort there from Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC, and then Flores Blanco is called for the foul. I don't know about that. I mean, he really wasn't in a great position to get out of the way anyway.
Yeah, we'll see it again. Powder does really well to get there, but he commits himself. I think that's unfortunate. I don't think the referee should take any further action. It's a very brave attempt to keep the ball in from Powder there, but once Flores Blanco tries to get out of the way, he's got to come down at some point, and unfortunately, Powder was beneath him. So yeah, I think common sense prevails there. Give the free kick, and let's get back on with the play.
Referee now with an eye on Nelson Flores Blanco. He can almost guarantee the next even questionable play, he's going to get a yellow. But he didn't really do anything. That's all he was trying to tell him. There's a turnover. As Rogers is fouled again. Arthur Rogers from London, England.
Yeah, you see the pressure here. Garrett McLaughlin just has a little tug at Arthur Rogers there, but you can see they're going to try and limit his ability to look down the field and pick out Trevor Armand. But just been really interested, Dean, with the conversations. Assistant coach Colin Falvey and head coach Eamon Zayed been deep in a number of discussions in this opening 10 minutes in terms of the build out and looking at the way North Carolina setting up. Really some good conversations there about what they need to do and how they're going to address it. So we'll keep an eye on how they navigate some of the challenges and looks that North Carolina are presenting.
It's the second time early doors that North Carolina FC has knocked the ball out of bounds kind of on their own. And they'll leave it as Northern Colorado knew they were offside. Gotta be a little nervy, right? And, you know, it's the age-old question of, hey, you get the 2 weeks off because you're the top 2 seed, whereas if you finish, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, you play right away. I asked John Bradford about it, and he said, you know, hey, give me 2 weeks anytime. I'll take the extra week to prepare. We should be ready. We know what it means, a win, and they're in the final. But it's worth keeping an eye on, as right now it looks like a little nervy start for North Carolina FC, yet their transition looks to be on point.
Yeah, I think it's one of those. I was out. They took a day off on Wednesday, Dean. Usually you can't do that in the run to a game, so they were able to take a day off on Wednesday and come back Thursday, Friday. And I spoke to Garrett McLaughlin training on Thursday. How you feeling? And he looked as fresh as a daisy. Oh,
Perez! Oh my! Wow, that almost went in right there as it went through the hands. An absolute rocket fire through Delgado. You saw the smile on his face right there. He's lucky.
It's a poor ball from Ibarra. Great touch from Luis Perez, and then he just absolutely rockets it. I feel like it could come off Delgado's face. It is just traveling at an absolutely insane speed. Delgado does so well. I feel like he almost touched it as the ball was past him. It was so fast. Unbelievable connection there from the Frenchman. We know he's got on his locker, Dean. We've seen it on a few occasions.
Some pure smoke there for Perez. This one bent around and headed out, and Perez will have another opportunity for a corner kick. Corner kick, North Carolina FC. USL League One playoffs on ESPN+. Still waiting for a score in the other semifinal with Charlotte at Omaha. 13 minutes in. The man who almost blasted it right through the face of Delgado and in the back of the net will take his second consecutive corner kick. Talking about Luis Perez. Was hoping to find Olex Anderson Jr. for the flick, and there's the clear from Rogers. Mr. Young just knocks it out of bounds. Picked up there by Billy King. Select, the official match ball supplier of USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Nobody home.
Grab an ice cold Pepsi and cheer on NCFC.
Talks
Pepsi,
about North Carolina looking a little nervy in possession. The Hailstorm haven't really connected 2 or 3 passes comfortably yet. They're struggling to kind of get that ball moving through the thirds.
Yeah, that was Bruno Rendon who sent it long as the 3-back.
I think the other thing to consider, Dean, is the fact that this is the 4th time this season these 2 teams have met and the 3rd time that they've played here in Cary. So it's been an interesting series, and you get to know the teams very, very well. Obviously, North Carolina were able to pick up 2 wins, a win here earlier in the season and a win on the road back in late September, either side of a defeat at home here. So Northern Carolina have won here and lost, so this will be the decider.
In the 2 years that Northern Colorado has been a franchise, they lead the series 3-2-1. As Mr. Tate mentioned, July 26, NCFC won that game 2-0. Perez and Anderson with the goals. August 26, Northern Colorado won that one 2-1. Ullman and Rendon. And another whistle here, another foul. It looks like we might see our first card here.
It's a clumsy tackle from Flores. It's a poor touch off the chest, and it landed straight at Arman, and he just dangled his boot in there. Caught Arman pretty clean on the shins, I would say. Just on the top of the boot. Not a lot of force there, but he does catch him. And after the earlier collision with Powder, Dean, that was going to be a yellow card all day long.
Yeah. No doubt. Just kind of finishing up what you said, on September 23rd, NCFC won that game 2-0 with McLaughlin and Olex Anderson Jr. Rogers. Oh, sure they would leave it for Rogers. Instead, a planned play as they go out wide, overlapping run down near the end line, sent in, kept alive, and it will go into the stands and come back to North Carolina FC. I wonder if Rogers, being from London, would have preferred the Beatles reference.
Well, he's not from Liverpool, so
yeah, there you go.
So I think I'm safe.
Okay.
But maybe I could have come up with a London band, you know.
No, I liked where your head was. Good stuff.
Based on the dynamic duos that I did find, Dean, I could have really gone some strange places. It's quite the list.
Alex Anderson Jr. called for the foul. Last time out, Northern Colorado defeated Madison 4-1 in the quarterfinal match. USL League One single season goal record scored. Trevor Amon scored a hat trick, and Rogers scored an Olympico, which was the game-winning goal. So they did it in style, the Batman and Robin.
Yeah, the golden playmaker and the golden boot. Doing what they do best.
Out of bounds and back to North Carolina FC. Last time out, North Carolina FC secured a top 2 seed with a 2-1 victory versus 1 Knoxville. That was on October 14. Mr. Fernandez scored his first goal as a pro for NCFC in the first half, and Garrett McLaughlin added an 89-minute winner for what was a wonderful crowd. Mikey Maldonado, quick restart. Rafa does well to slow down the talented Trevor Amon. ...18 minutes in, 26 goals for number 9 in the white jersey. That is a lot of goals. A USL League One record, as we told you in the open.
Spent some time looking at all his goals, and they're just so clean. A lot of headers in there. But his finishing just in and around the box, even on the outside of the box. If you give him a bit of space, he's just so clinical. Left foot, right foot. And as I said, he's deadly with his head as well. Number of set-piece goals that he just gets across the front post and glances it. Yeah, really good all-round forward.
Yeah, it's the kind of year where you almost expect, with North Carolina FC headed back to USL Championship, that we'll run across him again maybe at some point. I got to believe there's USL Championship teams trying to get their hands on him. You have that kind of season, you're ready.
Yeah, and that's what we talked a lot about North Carolina, the signings they've made, and Northern Colorado have made some great signings, but it's been the players that have been there last year that have just really stepped up and carried the team to new heights this season on both club side. It shows the development within the club on and off the field to help these players grow and develop. And like you said, Dean, I think I'm sure there'll be some takers for both players, both Rogers and Armand, and then a number of players, even with North Carolina moving to the championship. I'm sure there'll be a few players looking at this squad and seeing if they can prize a few away.
Lou Young with Rafa. Rafa Menzigan, second on the team in goals with 13, third in assists, first in shots, and also 46 chances created. He's had a brilliant season. Had one little spell where he was a little banged up, but other than that, he has been kind of a model of consistency for the most part.
Couldn't agree more. We've seen this though, the Hailstorm happy to knock the ball around here, but struggling to really get the ball into the higher areas of the field. As you see it again, picked off in the middle.
Yeah, that was a great chest trap by Nelson Flores Blanco. Now it's McLaughlin back to Olex Anderson Jr. Olex Anderson Jr. with Rogers hanging on him. Olex Anderson Jr. Rafa's going to turn it. One more pass. Maldonado. And Summersaw kind of found himself in new territory there, and it looked like it a little bit.
I think his reaction said it all, didn't it? It's a good play, though. McLaughlin and Anderson linking really well. Rogers usually does so well in this situation, but Anderson wriggles free. Menzigan, cool as you like, lays it to Maldonado. For me, just a little bit too cute there, Dean. I thought, looking at that extra pass, the composure from Menzigan. I'd love to have seen Maldonado maybe just strike that. It was an awkward one for Summersault. And I thought his reaction afterwards was quite awkward as well. A strange dive and frustration. It's a good chance.
22nd minute. Rafa to Summersault.
Oh,
Summersault definitely ate his Wheaties today. He's flying out there. And that could draw a yellow against Northern Colorado. It will. Leo Bala who played some time with FC Tulsa will get the yellow card. So Fola into the book with the yellow. That's you had, right, Fola, number 5?
Yep. But yeah, I was at training on Thursday, Dean, and just the buzz around the place was great. I couldn't understand a word Raheem Summersault and Olex Anderson were saying to each other. The island accents flying, and they were just loving it. Karen McLaughlin was saying a lot of his family was coming in, and I saw a few Maldonado shirts in the concourse before the game. So a lot of family and friends here for this big game. Just 90 minutes plus away from the USL League One final. Oh, what's going on here?
Maldonado. So Maldonado and Rendon.
They're coming together with Maldonado and Rendon just off the camera, I believe, there for folks at home. was coming together. I think the fourth official seemed to say that there wasn't any intent there, but the referee is spending time trying to talk to Mikey Maldonado. It's funny that it's those two, Dean, that are getting into it, as they are the two called into the principal's office the most often, Dean. I think it's, let me check my notes, I'm pretty sure it's, well, Maldonado was just sitting out with a yellow card accumulation, and Rendon has a number himself, so I think it's 12 and 11 on the season for those two, so put those two in a phone booth and see what happens.
Foul occurred away from the ball, so we don't have a look at it, but well played as no cards came out. Too much on the line here.
The fourth official now talking to John Bradford, I think. There's a big scream, wasn't there? I think there's just so much on the line, and small margins and decisions can change everything at this point, so every little thing goes under the microscope.
Blanco will knock it out of bounds. He's got the heavy weight of having that yellow card. Full of the same thing on the other side. Pretty early doors to get a yellow card in a game this big, Andrew Tate.
Yeah, you don't want to, you got to tread carefully. You don't want to put a decision in the referee's hands. A lot of that comes down to, I think, your teammates too, protecting you, making sure you're not in 1v1 situations, last-ditch opportunities and scenarios. So I expect Luis Perez to really kind of defensively sit next to him, and Fernandez to get across and cover, and Mikey Maldonado and Raheem Somersault where possible to get in and make sure he's not left isolated.
Try to switch it. It'll go off the head of Luis Perez and come back to Rendon and Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC. Rob Cornwall wears the captain's armband. He's from Dublin, Ireland. Spent some time with Bohemians FC over in Ireland. Push from behind. Foul called against Garcia.
Clumsy tackle from Garcia, but trying to stick tight to Arman.
Rogers elects to get things going. A couple passes, and Arman with some pressure. Good turn out of it by McLaughlin to Somersault. It'll be knocked out of bounds. It'll be North Carolina FC ball right at midfield. Good idea. I felt like the ball went out closer to where Somersault was. Man, I thought he was just going to grab it and throw it right at Olex, run it down.
The two Island boys not on the same wavelength there, but yes, I thought that was an opportunity to maybe try and counter-attack quickly.
USL League One semi-final. Olex Anderson Jr. trying to stay with it. Olex Anderson Jr. and Olex Anderson Jr. will earn the free kick. Olex Anderson Jr. says there should be a card there.
Boy, when he gets going, just the pace and the power that he's traveling at there. Here we see it. He rides the first challenge from Robles. In comes Norte. Yeah, there's nothing really wrong with what Rogers did. It's coming back for the little tug on the arm by Norte there. Just had a little hold of him to try and slow him down, which allowed Rogers to get there. This is a long, long way out here.
Yeah.
I don't see this one being a strike on.
No, it is. It's one of those things that I've always hated, though, when they play advantage and it's the same guy that's tugging on him and he makes a more serious foul 10 yards later. I think that's where the mark should be. Not all the way back here. I mean, it's more where the wall was. This one's sent in, and they can't do much with it. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. They play it over the top. They don't need much. Offside, though. Just a step offside. They'll come back to North Carolina FC.
That is a sight that North Carolina FC does not want to see too often. A long ball in behind and Armand running after it. But a well-marshalled back line there. The hand went up. They knew that he was offside, so crisis averted.
In 3 days it'll be Halloween, and we got a full moon here. It is just a gorgeous, gorgeous night, Andrew Tate. It's incredible.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen the forecast for Halloween, Dean. It's not looking too pleasing, to be honest.
No.
The warmer weather we've had, we're in the 70s now. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? It's been not a cloud in the sky kind of day, and a lot of people having a lot of fun in fall festivals and things like that. But Tuesday looks rainy, and I think in the 50s, so got to figure out the tactics for how you keep your candy dry, you know? Got to eat it on the spot, I think.
Somersault. Go out of bounds. This portion of the game brought to you by Pepsi. USL League One semifinal, no score. Olex Anderson Jr. Olex Anderson Jr. pops it over to Garrett McLaughlin. Lou Young. Rafa's there. Rafa deflected and over the crossbar. Wow. I mean, right now they've got Delgado flailing in the goal, but they can't get one in.
It's been a really good opening 30 minutes, Dean, I've got to say, for North Carolina. Here's a fantastic pass from the captain, Garrett McLaughlin. Lou Young fires it across. It falls to Rafa, flicks off the inside of a shin and loops anywhere. Scary moments for the Hailstorm. There's a lot of arms being flapped around and frustration from a lot of the Hailstorm players just not quite on the same page, and North Carolina finding those gaps at the moment.
Rafa Menzigen, good ball in. Menzigen Delgado. Kind of ripped his arms in front. It's going to fall to Somersault. Fancies it, goal! And it's going to get a little touch there. I think they're going to give it to Garcia. And how about North Carolina FC? Somersault, the flick from Garcia. And North Carolina FC leads at 1-0.
There's another set piece for North Carolina. Rafa with a great ball. Delgado's flapping at it. And this reminded me, just last week, Dean, we saw Lou Young play this exact same ball out to Menzigen, 2 weeks ago. It's a great ball in. Good composure from Somersault. What a flick from Garcia. The Spaniard just flicking it with the inside of his right boot. That's intentional, Dean. That's incredible from the centre-back. No chance for Delgado. We were thinking it was flicking off his calf. It was a deflection, but he's meant that. That is incredible.
Second goal for Garcia as he's in a goal race with his running mate Fernandez, who scored in the last one. 2 goals for Garcia on the season, 1 for Fernandez. Somersault, who has been absolutely brilliant, got enough on that where it gave Garcia an opportunity to do something nifty with it, and he did.
Yeah, and Dean, I've been really, really impressed with this opening 30 minutes from North Carolina. They've defended really, really well. They've sort of limited the opportunities and the balls into Armand, but then in possession, they've just attacked really smartly. Created some good looks at goal. But how they manage this next 15 minutes is absolutely crucial. They've got the goal they wanted and the goal I believe they deserve, but they cannot switch off for a second.
Garcia, the goal scorer. Brooks Thompson. Perez. Raheem Summersaw to David Garcia, and it's 1-0 North Carolina FC on top. The records for these two teams when they score first. Remember, one of the keys for John Bradford was a strong start. When NCFC scores first, they're 14-1-3. When Northern Colorado scores first, they're 15-0-2. Those are pretty good records when you get that first tally.
Yeah, and we've seen it a number. I think that's been part of the problem at home, isn't it? North Carolina's conceded the first goal on so many occasions, but here's the ball in from Rafa. Like I said, it reminded me of that goal that Fernandez scored the other week, but it's a little bit short. Good technique from Summersault, and then the invention from Garcia to facing the wrong way, just guide it with the inside of that right boot. Unbelievable, what a goal. And the only goal so far in USL League One semi-finals is Union Omaha and Charlotte ticking down. We've only got 3 minutes plus whatever's added on in the second half of extra time there, Dean. So that one's staring at penalties right now unless there's a big twist in the tail.
Wow. If NCFC could somehow win this and Charlotte can take it in penalties, it would be another home game. That would be huge.
You asked me, Dean, what was my prediction? I predicted an upset in Omaha and a North Carolina win, which that's where we're looking right now, but there's a heck of a lot of soccer still to be played here. And I would not put it past the Hailstorm to find something here. They don't need much to get a goal. Just one moment. Anything that falls to Armin.
Ball down the spine. Switch it back to their captain, and they'll try the other side. Quick little touch there from Opara. Rendon calling for it, but Cornwall gives it back to Fola. Now Cornwall does give it to Rendon. Rendon is offside, yeah.
It's good, really good defending from North Carolina there. Just the way they're shifting. You see Garrett McLaughlin out on the right flank, sort of covering for Mensingen. Just the understanding and the work that they've put in preparation for this game at the moment is absolutely spot on.
Take a look at the moon here as we're just rounding the corner to Halloween. Gorgeous night. I don't know how that tree got all the way up there.
Some great camera work, yeah.
Gorgeous night for big-time soccer here. Semifinals of USL League One. But the USL has just done an amazing job creating a giant platform for soccer in so many fantastic cities, big and small. Then they've got the Super League coming for the women. USL Championship adding teams, USL League One adding teams. It just seems like the news coming out of USL every day is pretty promising.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the Football League in England, just the way that sort of developed over the years and the number of teams and the local fan bases, I think, is just huge, right? I mean, I think the more you can get the local fan bases involved and supporting the community club, and for me, that's what football is all about, is that community and shared passion for something. You turn up on a Saturday and you live, you breathe it. You go home happy or you go home crying and you pint at the end of it. Sort of stays with you.
Rafa Mensingen. Another good ball sent in with purpose. Picked off by Nelson Flores Blanco. Perez is letting that left foot fly.
Dean, I don't think I've seen a ball struck better than that. I mean, that left foot rocket and save from Delgado. Absolutely incredible, both in equal measure, the save and the strike.
Yeah, it was, I've been doing this a while. That was one of the better strikes I've seen. It didn't go in, but a couple years from now, we'll remember it going in. I think that's how it was going to come to be. It's a smoke show. Ortiz and Somersault down on the ground. They'll play on. The pitch looks just fantastic. So it is going to take penalty kicks to find out whether it's Union Omaha hosting the championship game of USL League One or if Charlotte. We'll have to wait and see. 39th minute. Powder helps get it out wide. Powder was waiting to get it back. Now he'll just get it back off the deflection of Rafa. Now Powder. Throw in for Hailstorm. Trail 1-0. Cornwall. Brings it back to Leo Fola. Fola with a yellow card and Nelson Flores Blanco with a yellow card. David Garcia from Somersault. That's the goal, as we're at minute 40. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. Free to play. You can download it now. 41st minute. Rogers looking to switch it. Wow, great little pass to keep it alive to Powder. This is a shot, and Thompson with a wonderful save, denying the shot. An absolute hammer right there from Kwakwa.
Norte just absolutely laces it. What a save. Brooks Thompson, full stretch, that strong left hand. He says, anything you can do, Lalo Delgado, I can equal. Big save. Ticking down towards the half-time mark. Got to hang on here for North Carolina.
Well done, that was Norte, also from London. Corner kick. Ooh, topped up almost with the hand of Maldonado. Well, that's a quality save from Thompson right there.
And he hadn't had much to do, had he, in this first half? Not a lot of action for him, a couple of touches with his feet, but that'll do him the world of the good and settle his nerves, because a teenager in a game of this magnitude, you can't get experience like that in many places. Initially, it was a good interception from Flores Blanco to put out the long pass, but he headed it straight down to Norte, and then it found its way back to him, and then a little bit of space and a great strike. Putting a bit of pressure now.
Rogers probably looking for getting cleared out of there. Rogers, nifty little move around Somersault. Somersault clean. Let's go back and take a look at that incredible save from Brooks Thompson. Norte with a brilliant shot.
And he just takes one little look there and then laces right through the middle of the ball and is just swerving away from Brooks Thompson, but does well to get a strong left hand to it. His first save of the match, to my recollection, Dean.
One to remember. Throw in for Nelson Flores Blanco, who will be crowned League One champions. The League One final is here. Tune in Sunday, November 5th on ESPN2 to watch the dramatic finale and see who will be the one to hoist the trophy. That game could be played here, depending on what's going on in the Omaha-Charlotte situation. Got any update on that, Andrew?
There's penalties. Yeah, I'm trying to see what was going on, but I got my teeth into this one, Dean. I'm enjoying this one too much. I don't want to miss a second. Ooh. Awkward one for Follett as well.
Omaha did hit their first penalty. We do know that. McLaughlin. Charlotte hit theirs, so 1-1 through one round. McLaughlin. Maldonado. Delgado deflected. And offside is Summersall. Summersall. I'll have what he's having.
I was thinking the same thing. Good link-up play with McLaughlin and Olex Anderson and Maldonado. Tell you what, the shots for the keepers today, really awkward. They're just hit with such venom. Delgado does really well though to beat it away. That ball was traveling at a pace and was moving rapidly.
Omaha missed their second PK shot. We got 1 minute of stoppage time in this one.
And that's a positive sign right there for Billy King. He's been such a key component for them this season. He's created a lot of chances. It's Rogers obviously with a major assister, but I think he's got about 60 chances created. Billy King, he's fourth in the league this year for chances created. So get him involved down that left flank and go at Lou Young and get some balls into the head of Trevor Armand. It's more they need from the Hailstorm.
Just 1 minute of added time. Charlotte did hit their second through 2 penalty kicks. It's Charlotte 2, Omaha 1.
Pressure will mount now for Union Omaha at home. In front of the crowd, the Shield players, Shield winners, dominated the game. Pressure now on each one of those kicks.
Powder. Sonorti, who took that wonderful strike that was saved by Thompson. Omaha did hit their third. Waiting on Charlotte. What we're not waiting on is North Carolina FC, as they've got a 1-0 lead. Raheem Summersall cranked one in, and David Garcia with a full moon looking on knocked in what is right now the leading goal at halftime here in Cary. How about North Carolina FC with a 1-0 lead over Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC? Stay with us at halftime as we get you caught up on all things USL, League One, and USL Championship. North Carolina FC leads it by 1 at the half.
Some of my most satisfying days is providing care to people that couldn't otherwise get it or afford it. You know, at the end of the day, I'm a child of immigrants. So for me, it's real. It means something.
When I met Dr. Riccobeni, that was one of the things that he said. He's like, you're gonna do the best care that you can at the best price.
You gotta try to do what's right for the people that you treat and do it in a fashion that is both affordable, but gives them the kind of quality that they deserve.
Riccobeni Associates Family Dentistry. Changing lives, one smile at a time.
Teens are under a lot of pressure, especially when it comes to underage drinking. They may not say a word, but as a parent, you can see the signs. We can help you help your teen. Go to talkitoutnc.org. Get great ideas on how to start the conversation about alcohol. So, talk to your teen about drinking. You might be surprised at their reaction.
Back on the road. Back in the saddle. Back to the land. Back in the game. Back in the swing of things. Wake Orthopedics. Get back your life. And get back in the groove.
That's why Lenovo launched the Evolve Small Initiative. We gave every small business the opportunity to use Queen Latifah as the face of their marketing with their own customized video. So far, Lenovo Evolve Small, in partnership with AMD and Microsoft, has helped over 1,000 women and minority-owned small businesses to thrive. With more than $2.4 million in grants, tech, mentorship, and marketing resources. Stay tuned for what's next with Lenovo Evolve Small.
Welcome back to WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, which could be the home to next week's final if they can win, depending on what's going on. But right now, Charlotte is looking close to knocking off Omaha in penalty kicks. We'll keep you up to date on everything happening in USL League One. As we welcome you up to the perch, good evening, everyone. Dean Linke with the great Andrew Tate. And before we talk about the exciting new partnership with Monterey, how about North Carolina FC in that first half?
Yeah, for me, Dean, that's the best 45 minutes I've seen from North Carolina in terms of the occasion, in terms of the fact they're 90 minutes away from the USL League One final. For me, just the way they defended, the way they've been very smart on the ball, just a really complete 45.
When you think about North Carolina FC and the North Carolina Courage, it feels like exciting news comes out of the club now every day. I mean, they are really on a fast track, and an exciting announcement this week.
Yeah, the partnership with Monterey, Rayados, they're just known for the quality of players that they have. And they were here in training, and they had a press conference, and I know there's a lot of excitement there, but you can see it's multifaceted, and it's going to create a pathway for young players. But Monterey has 5 Liga MX championships and 5 CONCACAF Champions League titles. And just incredible Mexican team, great academy, and there's just so many exciting things, I think, for young players, but also for the fans of the professional team as well to see here in Cary and in Mexico.
John Bradford, and I quote him, "We're extremely excited about this partnership. Players from both sides will get major benefits from the opportunities the partnership will present them." Great work by Steve Malik, the head of soccer, Kurt Johnson, Francie Gotzigan, the new COO, Ralph, who I look forward to meeting as well. Everybody moving forward in positive direction. We're going to step aside and come back with news and notes. Charlotte has won, so if North Carolina FC can win this game, they'll host the USL League One final. Stay with us.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Johnson takes a shot, and the Independents find their answer. And Northern Colorado have clear skies to the semifinal now. They hang on, and it's a new league record. They clinch their 5th straight playoff appearance. And they solidify themselves a spot in the playoffs.
How about North Carolina FC, a 1-0 lead at halftime, with the news kind of scurrying through the stadium that Charlotte upset Union Omaha, the Players Shield winners on penalty kicks. And yes, indeed, the Charlotte Independents have punched their ticket. And it's simple. If North Carolina FC can somehow pull this out, they will host the USL League One final in what will be their final season in USL League One.
Yeah, it's incredible. Big 45 minutes. I'm sure the Hailstorm will want to think they're going to have something to say about it, and they'd love to host it in Windsor next weekend, right? So
there you go.
A lot to play for, but incredible. That's why we love football. No one would have seen that coming. And yeah, let's see hopefully there's a big 45 here to come for both teams.
Yeah, the winner of this game will host the final, as we'll take a look at the USL League One news and notes and USL Championship first up.
Yeah, we talk about how crazy the USL League One is, but USL Championship, they're the top 2 seeds in the East, taken out straight away. The Shield winners Pittsburgh upset by Detroit City by a 0-0 there, and the Rowdies taken down by Birmingham Legion 3-0. And then a 5-star performance from Charleston Battery. Great to see them back performing to the heights that we've seen them in the past. They exploded for 5 and 63 minutes with 4 players finished with a goal and an assist. And then Formella finishes off San Diego, the Polish forward getting the game winner in the 119th minute. And San Diego forward Ronaldo Damas has a hat-trick in the loss. That's a tough one to take, Dean. You score a hat-trick and you still go down and you're out.
Now the USL League One notes.
Yeah, lots of Hailstorm players in there. You've got Trevor Armand, Golden Boot, 26 goals. Golden Glove, Sean Lewis, we saw him here a couple of weeks ago. He was fantastic, had a great season. Look at that goal, the goals against average and 8 clean sheets. And then the Golden Playmaker, Arthur Rogers, all those assists, 11 of them in total and 88 key passes.
Congratulations to all 3 of them, including the 2 that we're watching right here in this USL League One semifinal. The Charlotte Independents have punched their ticket. As we take a look at some other scores in the USL Championship semifinals. I believe those cities always there, aren't they?
Yeah, big one for Sacramento. They just continue to perform well. And Charleston and Birmingham Legion, that's a big sort of rivalry there. Lots of tasty fixtures now. It's an exciting time of year for me, Dean. I love October.
Yeah, Charleston Battery led by Ben Pierman, who's done a great job as the new head coach. All right, good stuff here, USL League One and USL Championship. We're going to step aside and be back with highlights and the second half kick with North Carolina FC 45 minutes away from hosting the USL League One Championship game on November 5.
When it comes to delivering high quality, affordable health care, relationships matter. And after 90 years, we're proud of the relationships we've built with you, North Carolina. We're collaborating with leaders like Vici, supporting her efforts to help schools address the mental health needs of students, and foster care moms like Gail, working with her to ensure our state's most vulnerable children are thriving, and caregivers like Maya, partnering with her to improve maternal health. From lowering costs to building healthier communities, we are committed to improving the health and well-being of everyone across this state. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina is not your typical health insurer. We're 5,000 neighbors, friends, and family working hard to make healthcare affordable, easier to navigate, and accessible for all. North Carolina is our home. We're here for you, all of you.
Weldon Mills Distillery, born from the rich heritage of North Carolina. We craft some of the finest bourbon and spirits that are destined to be discovered by the world. There are no shortcuts to excellence, and that's why our mantra is simple. Never let efficiency get in the way of excellence. The foundations of our spirits are sourced right here in North Carolina, and our commitment to excellence has led to our continued growth and expansion. We are proud to offer a broad portfolio of brands that will stand the test of time.
Bring home 7 days of savings with daily deals from The Fresh Market. Shop Mondays for buy one, get one free deals, including mouth-watering bacon and crab cakes. Tuesdays get chuck and chicken for just $3.99 per pound. Wednesdays save on shrimp and sashimi tuna.
And shop Thursdays for tasty, easy meals under $10, including $7 pizzas.
Then grab our 3-day weekend deals on the best meat and seafood, like gourmet burgers, lobster tails, and more. Don't wait to save. Shop the Fresh Market today.
Welcome back to WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary. Open to host the USL League One Championship with news that Charlotte won, and they lead at 1-0. Dean Linky with Andrew Tate. Let's go to work and show you the first half highlights. Plenty of exciting opportunities and big-time saves.
And here's early on, Powder linking with Naughty Norte, and he smashes the ball at goal. Great save from Brooks Thompson. That was really the only chance that Northern Colorado had. And here was an unbelievable strike from the Frenchman, Louis Perez. He gets it out of his feet and then just cannons it to goal. How Lalo Delgado gets that over the crossbar, I'll never know, because this ball was traveling. Even in slow-mo, Dean, it's going too fast.
Good expression there from Delgado. Wow.
But then Go Alexanderson getting into the box, causing all types of problems. Slides it back to Mensingen. Good composure from the Brazilian. And it falls to the wrong man in Raheem Summersole. Awkward one from there, off the shin. And the reaction from Summersole as he throws himself to the ground in dismay said it all. But this was the goal. Mensingen ball in. Summersole with the strike, and the invention from the centre-back, David Garcia. You watch him here, he just guides it with the inside of that right foot, flicks it past Delgado, who had no chance whatsoever. And the man who's been watching Arman all day, keeping him in his pocket, gets the big goal. But you can see a huge 45 for North Carolina there. They were massively on top. 11 shots to 5, 3-1 on target. They had some really good opportunities in that attacking third. I'll be really surprised, Dean, if we don't see a response from the Hailstorm at half-time, because I'm pretty sure Coach Eamon Zaya would have had a thing or two to say.
So both teams back out on the field. You can guarantee that both teams are aware that Charlotte has won, so both teams know that if they win this game, they get to host the USL League One final on November 5 and on ESPN2. And we're going to have a change. Coach Zayed for Hailstorm. It's going to be Jackson Dietrich, number 18. Dietrich from Germany. Spent some time with Chattanooga. And then Marky Hernandez, who also spent some time with Chattanooga. He's a dangerous little player. Started the last game, I believe.
So this is the roll of the dice from Eamon Zayed, ringing the changes. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he would have had a thing or two to say. So I believe it's Robles and Fowler that have gone off. Arthur Rogers now will drop back into that centre-back spot where he was phenomenal. Dean, if you remember here against NCFC, really did a good job on Go Alexanderson, keeping him quiet and then distributing and dominating the ball. So they're going to have a lot of the ball, I think, in the second half. But obviously with Dietrich coming in and Marky Hernandez, who's no stranger to scoring a goal or having a magic moment on this surface. Big moves early on for the Hailstorm.
Second half underway here at WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary. Alongside Andrew Tate, Dean Linky with you. Congratulations again to the Charlotte Independents, and well done Union Omaha on what was an incredible season, as every year Union Omaha seems to find themselves in and around that championship game. Not to be this year, though, as Charlotte wins it in PKs.
It's the curse of the Players' Shield, isn't it, Dean? It's so hard to go out and win that and then carry that into the playoffs when the teams you're playing against, they have absolutely nothing to lose. Sometimes it's better to be that underdog.
A good start from Hernandez, who's already let his presence be known. Sent in. Yeah, Coach Zayed not even messing about, just saying, let's get these two guys in there. Fola was sitting on that yellow card as well, Andrew, so.
Yeah, that definitely had a part to play in it. But Marky Hernandez, he started the game against Forward Madison, so I'm sure he was probably having his bottom lip out on the bench. You know what I mean? Not done anything wrong, and now he gets to come off the bench and show him exactly what coach should have done to start the game.
Para, with Rafa keeping an eye on him. Cornwall. Now it just means Robin's a little deeper, but we have seen him do his thing from this spot as he makes a run, drops it over. Pretty good ball. This was all started by Rogers, and oh my. That was all started by Rogers, and it fell to Marky Hernandez. Probably should have finished this one.
Yeah, this was something we saw in the last meeting between these two teams here. Rendon was a factor there. I remember him scoring a goal from a similar position, getting in on the blind side, but Norte here lays it on a plate, but Hernandez on that right foot just drags it, just pulls it past that right post, much to the relief for Brooks Thompson inside the opening 2 minutes of the second half. A let-off for the home team. It was almost all level after a big first 45 for the home team. It was almost undone in just 2 minutes.
Yeah, that shot right there put an extra year on John Bradford as well, I think. Good play from Garcia. Olex Anderson Jr. gives it up to Rafa. Rafa trying to find McLaughlin! McLaughlin! The goal's still open. He'll slide it across. Oh, unlucky. Garrett McLaughlin, relentless on the attack. Tried to slide it over to Perez. What in the world?
Fans, get on your feet and make some noise for this NCAA.
Great ball from Rafa. Robin almost cuts it out, but it almost falls perfectly for McLaughlin. You think he's just going to be cool as you like and pick out somebody, but the chance just disappears. You almost feel like he should have been selfish there, Dean. The captain, Garrett McLaughlin, maybe go for goal because it was there for him, but he was hoping for some support. But great play on the counter-attack. You feel that could be the theme for the second half.
For those of you just joining us wondering why Andrew Tate's calling Rogers Robin, it's the Batman and Robin show, just to get you update. Oh, yes! And how about North Carolina FC? Magical touches, are you kidding me, David Garcia? What in the world?
What is going on? He must have been upset by Fernandez scoring the other week. To your point, Dean, it's a great ball in. And he just rises above Jackson Dietrich and just steers it in. He's not the biggest man on the field, David Garcia, but does so well to just get up early and guide it into that bottom corner. And the coolest man on the field right now, David Garcia. Huge goal, 2-goal lead for North Carolina.
All 3 of his goals have come against Northern Colorado. He also scored against them in August in the 2-1 loss. All 3 goals against the Hailstorm. And how about North Carolina FC with the 2-0 lead, David Garcia. Massive.
Football is so crazy, right? I mean, 2 minutes into this second half, it could have been 1-1. You go down the other end, you think North Carolina maybe missed a chance, but then set pieces. We talked about Northern Colorado set pieces, but NCFC have really stepped up their game this year with the quality deliveries that come in and then players attacking it and get on the end of it. Great play from David Garcia.
Push on McLaughlin. The referee lets it slide, as that was Dietrich who came on here to start the second half for Coach Zayed in Northern Colorado. I want to welcome in particularly all of the Charlotte Independence fans watching. They wouldn't mind, I would guess, a stroll up I-40, 85 and 40 on November 5th to play the USL League One final right here. Oh, turnover. Sent back in. And there's Chris Lou Young. So we've seen Opara find his way into the 18. We're going to start to see 4 or 5 forwards. You're going to see this field open wide up. Right now the lines look solid for North Carolina FC though. Line of four. And there's the man of the match. David Garcia.
having a worldie.
I mean, indeed, the somersault and, like you said, invention kind of on the fly, on the spot, and then also the invention there on that header. I mean, he put it where Delgado was frozen. He didn't even move.
Just the delivery helps him out a lot. The pace on it, the whip, and he's just got to guide it, and he gets up really well. And it's a huge moment because now the game just becomes, they say, 2-0 leads are the worst score lines in soccer. But now, Northern Colorado Hailstorm, they have to commit bodies forward. They have to sort of throw caution to the wind. But as we know, North Carolina on the break with that fantastic four. And Perez, we're looking along the line now. Perez, Olex Anderson, Garrett McLaughlin, and Rafa Mensingen just on that back four. He wouldn't put them past getting a third, but
Rogers has moved to the back. The golden playmaker for USL League One. I haven't mentioned the Golden Boot winner a ton.
He's been starved of service. Not had a look at all, not even a sniff.
Somersault has it taken away. The team who had that brilliant shot in the first half, if you missed it, Brooks Thompson diving to his left. A world-class save, quite frankly. That was in the first half. And then Hernandez came off the bench, had the great chance. I mean, you said it best. I mean, it probably should have been 1-1. And then moments later, you think North Carolina FC lost their chance, but they get it done on the subsequent corner kick. That's a massive, massive swing.
Well, you talked about Coach Bradford getting some gray hairs, Dean, so I think now he's got some black dye back in there now. He looks a lot fresher.
Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. On those 26 goals, puts a little pressure on Thompson. Nick Holliday, by the way, is back playing and was named to the 55-person player pool for the U.S. youth national team that's getting ready, and did not make the team, at least as of now. I think a little bit disappointed in that, but remember, he did come back from that injury, but certainly bright days ahead for Nick Holliday, a young goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's super young, but a super talent too. I think I remember doing a chat with him, with some of our youth players, Dean, and you're talking to him, have you had any adversity along in your career? And obviously he was only like 15 and he was in the first team at that age, Dean. So these are the types of things that as a professional you go through, and tough time for him, but great to see him back fit and healthy and in the goalkeeper pool at training. He's out there performing saves and helping Brooks Thompson and the team stay as sharp and ready as they can. But yeah, he's a talent that'll be around those youth national teams, I'm sure, for years to come. And he's a good lad as well, Dean. Good lad. He was playing with my kid out there the other week when I had him out there. So he's on the goalkeeper track at the age of 14 months.
Awesome. Comes from a great family. Long throw in, but as the player goes down the whistle, looks like a card's going to be given, and it is. Rendon will get a yellow. (2-0) North Carolina FC. Charlotte awaiting the winner. If you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. Lou Young trying to play it into space to McLaughlin. Rendon, who just got the yellow card, back to Rogers. Dean Linky with Andrew Tate, Wake Med Soccer Park, Cary, North Carolina. Garcia with a goal in the first, and now Garcia with a goal in the second. McLaughlin to Olex Anderson Jr. And taken away, kind of resetting the table. We came on the air talking about the dynamic duels. Rafa Menzigen, that one was knocked away by Delgado and still somehow stays in bounds. Delgado, pretty acrobatic right hand right there. Good save.
He's a top goalkeeper for me, Dean. Delgado played at the championship level, makes some unbelievable saves. I mean, we've seen him 3 times here in Carey, and he's made some phenomenal saves. I think he's made 4 penalty saves, Dean, so if it gets that far, then he'll become a real proposition for NCFC.
Oh, indeed. Reset the table, though, as we had the 2 dynamic duels. Olex Anderson Jr. and Garrett McLaughlin. You went with who?
John Lennon and Paul McCartney.
Who's who, by the way?
That's a good question. I think it's above my pay grade, Dean. Come on, help me out here. Who's Lennon and who's McCartney? I would say Lennon is Olex Anderson and McCartney is McLaughlin, just because of the Mac, probably. But I feel McCartney's just a little bit more. John Lennon's just a little bit too deep, which I think is where Olex Anderson is. He's a very deep character, right? Very passionate, can pull out some absolute wonders. Whereas McLaughlin, I think you know a little bit more what you're getting there, but still deep thinker, intelligent.
All right, that'll work. And then, as you described, Mon and Rogers, you went with
Batman and Robin.
There you go.
But the Cape Crusaders, I think they go by, don't they? Is that the term? I'm trying to go back to my childhood, but it's not been their day today so far. And obviously now the gap between them is even further, with Rogers having to slot back into the back line. And a little tactical shuffle from Coach Eamon Zayed. Just hasn't quite worked out so far, but
Summersault. He has been outstanding, folks, in this one. Plays that one into space. Had a little backspin on it, too. And then Rafa Menzigen will earn a corner kick. Any other day that David Garcia doesn't get a brace, Raheem Summersault would be tallying up some votes for man of the match. He has been outstanding.
I would echo that thought, Dean, absolutely. His progress and development and consistency this season has been off the charts, but here you see there just Fernandez and Garcia. We knew they were going to have big games today with Trevor Armand on the scene, but it's what they're doing at the other end now. There was a great ball in the clap from John Bradford, the ball into the forward lines there and getting them turned. They're doing it in all levels, Dean. They're not just keeping Trevor Armand quiet, but they're doing it on the attacking level and building out and complete defensive display.
Perez snapped out of there. Perez sent back across. Looking for Olex Anderson Jr. McLaughlin off the crossbar. Olex Anderson Jr. waiting, saved by Delgado with an unbelievable right-handed save. That one was going in. Everybody stays on side. North Carolina FC relentless here, looking for the third. But Delgado has said no on multiple occasions. We'll show you that flurry when we have a chance. Right now, North Carolina FC going to try it again. Wow, what a play from Rafa Menzigen. And Lou Young runs into a brick wall, and then McLaughlin goes down. Let's take a look at that flurry.
It's the first one, headed out. What a header from McLaughlin. Off the crossbar, then Anderson gets up really well above Rogers, right in the corner. Yeah, Delgado at full stretch. Not much you can do about the McLaughlin header, but does really well to react to that header off Olex Anderson Jr.
Yeah, that was going in. Olex Anderson Jr., how about the vertical above Rogers? Clean.
Hailstorm are on the ropes at the moment. If they get a third here, North Carolina, you'd struggle to see a way back for the Hailstorm. But just really impressed, team, with the mentality of the players right now. That we talked about, was it good to have 2 weeks off or have a week? At the moment, Dean, I'll take 2 weeks off anytime. Because they've looked super sharp, super crisp. The work rate, Garrett McLaughlin tracking back there, getting amongst it, winning the ball back for his team. Just a really good performance. Apart from that one little moment to start the second half, it's been pretty perfect to this point.
Final is Sunday, November 5. Somersault as Rafa stays down. They'll play on. Perez now. Perez going to crank one again. And I thought he had the deflection. I think he did. Meanwhile, Rafa saying he took an elbow.
Perez, I mean, most people, Dean, when they're 35 yards out, you're screaming at them, no, no, don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot. But as we saw in the first half, Perez's left foot, it's a thing of beauty.
Lou Young, a little bit too deep. Luis Perez hit that one a moment ago. He hit absolute fire in the first half. Let's take a look at it, folks. This is what happened in the first half.
I want to make a noise, Dean, as he hits it. I'm trying to figure out what the noise is. It's an absolute laser. And one of these days, Dean, a Luis Perez shot is going to fly in the goal and it's going to burst through the back of it.
Last time I checked, lasers don't make noises.
I think maybe that's what I was doing, right? I was a laser.
Here's Evans.
Maybe my little toy laser goes beep, 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 beep. That's what I was thinking. It doesn't quite fit the chance, does it?
I'm sorry you had to do that, actually. Rentone is going to come off as they're going to bring on Evans. He spent some time with Memphis 901 FCs from Culver City, California.
So another shuffle lost across the back line. That'll see Rogers. Does he go to a back? Did they go to a back three now? Or is it a back four with Rogers at right back? I'm sure he'll be given a license to go forward regardless.
Feels like three.
Yeah, Hernandez probably going to play up alongside Arman.
Yeah, there's three up front.
Yeah, Dietrich is just
four now.
Dietrich just come out here to find the ball. I'm pretty sure he's operating in the middle of the field. So once again, another roll the dice from Eamon Zayed. He's trying to get his team going and get them back in the game. One goal would change everything here, Dean, because that would get the nerves jangling for the home team.
Especially with your breakdown of Delgado in penalty kick situations. Charlotte made all 5. Omaha only missed 1 in penalty kicks, but that was enough to undo them and give Charlotte a spot in the USL League One Championship game on November 5. Who will be crowned League One champions? The League One final is here. Tune in Sunday, November 5th on ESPN2 to watch the dramatic finale and see who will be the one to host the trophy. Better yet, if you can see North Carolina FC through this, I'd love to see a WakeMed Soccer Park. For that, what a great way to go out of USL League One and back up to USL Championship. That's where North Carolina FC is headed next year. Garcia, and picked up by Thompson.
That's the only thing David, maybe he did that on purpose, Dean. I say that's the only thing David Garcia's gotten wrong, knowing him, that he deliberately sliced the ball back up in the air for his goalkeeper there. Next level defender.
Yeah, there you go. And McLaughlin earns another whistle.
Looking for a cold beer, a sweet treat, or
any kind of like foul that deep with the player going the other way, that's, I mean, yeah, Eamon Zayed, his hands are crossed, and that's going to make him nuts.
Yeah,
look at this switch.
He's not a happy man at the moment. A lot of frustration.
What a brilliant touch from Rafa. Rafa. He's going to try to put some English on that one and miss-hit it. Meanwhile, Lou Young had made an overlapping run. Lou Young does well to get all the way back. Hernandez. Hernandez, good ball in. Headed out of there by Fernandez. Now Perez over to Nelson Flores Blanco, who's got a yellow card and might be the most obvious choice for a change. DJ Benton is available to play on either side. That might be what Mike McGinty and John Bradford are talking over right now.
Yeah, I think for me, Dean, just looking at Olex Anderson at the moment, the travel that he had, you know, he missed the game against Knoxville playing with his country. Just looking a little bit leggy there. Flores Blanco was looking up to see if there was a runner ahead of him, and usually you'd see Olex Anderson galloping into a channel, but it wasn't coming.
All it takes is one, and that'll be a corner kick. Corner kick for Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC. We've talked about it before. I'll never forget it last year or over a year ago, when we learned that Northern Colorado was going to join. When it first came out or hit social media, whatever, it said NC, right? So you're like, wait, we got another team, right? And
yeah, you weren't the only one, Dean. I'm sure there was plenty of these. I certainly joined the
68th minute. There is no part of Colorado that isn't fantastic, though, so it's great to have a team from that great state, beautiful state. Spent 2 stints in that state, love it. Rafa Menskin will drop it. Oh! Wow. That was Fernandez who made that run. It was a perfect drop. That was Summersaw who dropped that. Summersaw's everywhere.
And then so Summersaw's everywhere, and then he's laying it off to the centre back. I mean, either John Bradford's a tactical genius or something's gone the full moon's at work here.
Yeah, listen, I know there's 20 minutes to go, but this is one of the best performances we've seen from this team.
Yeah, through 68 minutes and 50 seconds, all it takes is one.
Hernandez. Oh. And there'll be a free kick coming.
It's a sore one for Hernandez, but that's where they want him, in and around Arman. And this will get Arthur Rogers licking his lips. Noah Powder's got a good left foot as well. He latches onto the loose ball. Garcia, it's a little late to that one. Catches the wee man right on the top of the foot. It's going to be Powder.
Thompson trying to get the line straight, and Rob Cornwall, the captain, trying to get in his way. Little gamesmanship. It's a good way to pick up a silly yellow.
Just checking out the view over there.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's enough people in this wall where if he decided to spin one off.
Yeah, you almost think, could you roll it to Rogers here? And there's only 3 blue shirts out here against 6 white.
Yeah, everybody's in that wall. And boy, it looked like Thompson may have been able to get to that anyway. That's how great he's done since coming over on loan from Philadelphia of MLS. Just a little bit high.
Yeah, that kind of sums up the Hailstorm's day so far. It's a good opportunity.
David Garcia, the man of the match with not 1 but 2 goals.
Yeah, Summersall here just guides on frame, and the quick feet from the centre back here, and the invention, the creativity to just guide it with the inside of your right foot. As a centre back, Dean, that is not a typical move from a centre back. But then here, rising like a salmon, getting up and guiding it into that bottom corner. A huge second goal, giving them that cushion here. And the score remains 2-0 at Wakemed Soccer Park in Carey, with just under 20 minutes plus stoppage time to go.
Lee Young called for the foul against Billy King.
The concentration levels, Dean, have to be 100% now. I said if you let them get one here, the tails will be up and the nerves jangling the other way.
Coach Zayed getting ready to make 2 more changes as they'll bring the kitchen sink and then some. 72nd minute. Alongside the great Andrew Tate, I'm Dean Linke, delighted to be with all of you here. USL League One semifinals Saturday night. Charlotte with a win in penalty kicks over the Players Shield winner Union Omaha, and Alex Anderson Jr. with the foul. Remember, we showed you the keys, and it fell under the Hailstorm, but controlling your emotions is really key, I think, for both teams here right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, Charlotte Independence fans will be excited to see Irvin Parra entering the pitch. Player they know all too well.
Yep, former Independence player from Inglewood, California. Rogers. Diving header will give it back to North Carolina FC.
Fernandez is doing everything he can right now to find that elusive opening goal for the Hailstorm. It's a tasty delivery from Rogers, whips it in there. He just gets too much contact on it, just need a flick off his head.
Stefan Lukic will also come into the game. So a couple subs. King's going to come out as Lukic is going to come in. Cornwall's going to hand over the captain's armband. We'll see if Parra puts it on or if he gives it to Rogers.
Hailstorm subs in the 74th minute.
Give it to Rogers. Well played. Oh no, Parra is going to put it on. Powder drops it back to Parra. 74th minute. Rafa Menzigen. Oh. Boy, I thought he had a better beat on it. To the point where I thought he was going to be able to slash it to Olex Anderson Jr., who was wide open. Rogers. Somersault, a little bit too fast there for Rafa, who starting to show a little bit of signs of fatigue. McLaughlin never shows signs of fatigue, does he?
Just always going, isn't he? Always going, always putting a shift in. It's crazy now, just the lineup, no attacking players on the pitch for the Hailstorm. The game is a little bit chaotic.
Hernandez started the second half. Parra is going to leave it now for Opara. They also have Evans, who's 6'3". Evans is on the near post. Somersault. Parra. Cleared out of there by Nelson Flores Blanco. Nelson Flores Blanco sitting on a yellow. '76th minute. Oh, the sweater is gone for Coach Zayed. That's big news.
That says it all, doesn't it? I think that's all 5 changes, right, Dean? 2 at halftime.
And you snuck one in and then 2. Yeah.
I'm not very good at math, Dean, but yeah, I think that's all you've rolled your dice now. You've showed your hand, your final hand.
And this is it.
I think a couple of changes coming for the home team as well as they try to see out this literally hailstorm.
The Golden Boot winner there, number 9, wanted it back, didn't get it back, but it will be a throw-in. powder. Opara. Thompson decides to punch it. Good idea to get it to Olex Anderson Jr. Olex Anderson Jr. has got to be aware of where everybody is. Trying to angle that to Rafa. Good hustle from Lucky Opara. Talo and Cervania, two players with attacking qualities, due to come in. Overlapping run. Hernandez. Rogers.
David Garcia.
What a game. You see him pounding his chest right there. You mentioned Batman and Robin. He's having a Superman performance here. Both sides of the ball. Those goals were brilliant. Here we go again. And Thompson does enough to let Garcia know that he's behind him. Good communication there by Thompson. Dietrich over to Evans. Now Rogers, minute 79. Rogers, Thompson doesn't spill it. As Irvin Parra was waiting, Thompson, quality hands.
It's good play. Rogers obviously involved. They'll give and go. Great ball across the box there. And Thompson just to pull that one under his spell. Big time goalkeeping from the young man.
Bomb long. I want to thank our amazing crew. And first off, I want to say and send our best to Jorge Acuna, the longtime VP of Broadcasting, who will have his last day in a couple days. Got to believe he'll hopefully try to find a way back to the final, but Jorge Acuna moving on after phenomenal work. We'll have more of the crew in a moment. As here we go, Northern Colorado Hailstorm. Nifty back heel. Got sliding down by Garcia. What a game.
It's almost like, Dean, the dynamic duo thing. They got a little upset the fact that I shined the spotlight elsewhere. We'll show you a dynamic duo.
Yeah. Garcia and Fernandez.
Incredible performance.
And a whistle. Joe Ferrara, our producer. Dylan Rolling Stone Field with incredible job. Colin Thrash celebrating birthday 16, doing great work. Ryan Moeller, audio. Andrew Taylor. All of this under Kyle Lang, Chris Walsh, and Brian Ware on cameras. Brian Ware, without question, the MVP of our coverage all year long. That's my vote anyway. Brian, you didn't get a vote from Andrew. Sorry, bud.
I'm not a citizen, Dean. Well, actually, I am. Yeah. Yes. I just choose not to vote in these situations, Dean. You can't win, but they're all MVPs in my vote.
Oh wow. Natalu and Cervania.
Fans, put your hands together for number 19, Garrett McLaughlin. Restore hyper-level substitution for NCLC in the 81st minute of play. Stepping off your captain, number 19, coming in.
So McLaughlin, the dynamic duel. Dubbed Paul McCartney and John Lennon by the great Andrew Tate to open the show.
Also brings another restore hyper-level.
Come out together, Cervania.
Number 9, Overlax.
Natalo. Which one's Ringo out of those two?
In the 82nd minute, coming out of the pitch for Overlax.
Which one's Mr. Harrison? What are you going with there?
Oh, you tested me, Dean. We're struggling with the first question. I think those are smart changes from Coach Bradford there. You could see the strikers, and it's very rarely do you think the strikers have had a great game when there's been two centre-backs that have scored, but they've just put a real shift in with and without the ball, and you could see the legs were going. So now you get the fresh legs of Ntalu and Cervania. they'll run to no end now with 10 minutes plus to go.
Talu, he almost used his body perfectly. That was after the effort from Rafa Menzigan. Garcia gets enough on it. Summersaw, spectacular. Perez thought about a Steph Curry moment right there, as he is not afraid to shoot from way downtown. Steph Curry's a basketball player, by the way, Andrew. Here's Summersaw over to Rafa. Summersaw's down. Rafa wanted. Now they're going to give it to North Carolina FC. And Summersaw still on the ground, minute 83.
Indeed, Irvin Parra is just an incredible story. He won the comeback player of the year this year. And he scored, I think, the last regular season game. We'll just see the challenge here on Summersaw. It's a little nudge in the back from Norte, and then. But Irvin Parra, just a great story. He started the season against Chattanooga Dean with cancer. Has battled all season, and he came back in the last regular season game against Chattanooga and scored a big goal to help his team. So just a real character, and great to see him back healthy and fit and fighting here in the USL League One Championships.
Incredible story indeed. Cervania, what a weapon to bring off the bench. Youngster, quality. And that's part of the reason why NCFC has had a magical season. As Garcia wins another one. They set a club record for wins in a season with 19. Their previous was 17. That was back in the newer version of the NASL when they were the regular season champs. 63 points a record, previous 56 set in 2019 when this team was in the USL Championship, where they will return next year. Still loose, Maldonado. New record for points per game of 1.97. Previous record 1.93 set in 2011 with the Railhawks. And goals per game 1.81 that same year, previous record. Meanwhile, Northern Colorado, from their debut year to this year, improved by 20 points. That's a lot.
Yeah, just the second year in the league, and they've gone on and finished third and top of the table for the longest period, and had a really, really good season. And no one would have picked NCFC to be anywhere near the top of the table. I know they made some good acquisitions in the off season, but to do what they've done and get to where they are now has been incredible.
Yellow card to Perez.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing there. It's a yellow card all day long.
The sweater is back on Coach Zayed, by the way.
Sweater watch. 3 changes coming for the home team, getting their last instructions from assistant coach Mike McGinty. Spends a lot of time on set pieces, so we're trying to make sure that everyone knows their roles.
Summersaw. Hernandez. And it's going to go out of bounds. That's great work from Summersaw.
The clock just ticking down, Dean. It just doesn't feel like a USL League One semi-final right now, and everything that's at stake. It's just right now they're managing the moments well, taking the sting out of the game.
November 5, you think about this youth to pro thing, you think about Steve Malik and Kurt Johnson and Francie, and now Ralph, the new COO, and Pete Chandra before that. Like, they put this team in a spot to celebrate. Here comes Perez. Oh, and how about North Carolina FC? We'll see you in the USL League One Championship game on November 5 as it's 3-0 North Carolina FC. Perez with the finish.
What a ball from Rafa Mensingen. And Perez, unbelievable touch. Even better strike, just off the thigh, right where he wants it. Laces, toe down, bang, bottom corner. We'll see you in the final. An all North Carolina final, Dean. Who'd have seen that one coming?
Unbelievable.
Look at the face on Louis. Oh my word. Sheer joy. And I tell you what, Dean, we talked about Raheem Somersault, we've talked about David Garcia. You can keep going through the lineup, but Louis Perez has been phenomenal today as well. As he comes off to a standing ovation.
Nelson Flores Blanco will also come off. So Louis Perez with his 8th goal of the season. Rafa Mensingen with his 6th assist to go with 13 goals. That front four has been outstanding, and Cervania's out there with 3 goals and 4 assists. Those are pretty good numbers as well. So Perez and Rafa, after goal number 3, head to the bench. Italu. What an amazing performance from North Carolina FC. They will host the final Sunday, November 5th. I think the campaign to have Jorge Acuna return for that game is on, is it not?
I'm right behind it, Dean. I'm just trying to think in my head, I'm supposed to run my first marathon on Sunday the 5th, Dean. I'm committing suicide at the age of 40, and I don't know how I'm going to make it to the game. Maybe I'll just take a detour and just head to Wakemed Soccer Park.
What marathon are you running in?
Oak City.
All right.
One here in Raleigh, so my first ever one, and my training, Dean, has been phenomenal. And I say that tongue-in-cheek. Pub team preparation, unlike the players here for North Carolina. They've had 2 weeks of phenomenal training here. The preparation's been spot on. And they've got everything just right today, Dean. Everything that could have gone for them has, but we've said it all season, they haven't been brilliant at home. They just haven't been able to do it. They haven't been able to put a team away, and today to score 3 goals against Northern Colorado Hailstorm, who've got one of the best goalkeepers in the league, have done really well defensively all season. Just incredible.
To Andrew Tate's credit, the last game of the season against Knoxville, you did very astutely say before we went on the air, is like, I fancy a 3-0 win. Like, I fancy, you know, one where it just says North Carolina FC is the better team. It didn't quite happen that way, but it certainly did tonight.
Yeah. Got that one wrong, Dean, didn't I, that night? But,
I mean, but yeah, the win.
They were due something where they just put everything together, and today they have. And I'm delighted for the coaching staff. And you know, we talked about the last 2 years and the youth players that were involved in it, and it was tough. They were thrown into the deep end, but they've done really, really well to keep their heads down, keep working, and get them to where they are today.
Well, I was starting to get there. Gary Butte, who is the outstanding CEO of the North Carolina FC Youth, you know, they did the shield for the Knoxville, recognizing the sportsmanship leaders. They need to do like 5 different shields for November 5. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Everybody who plays for NCFC Youth needs to find a way to get here and pack this place. It's not every day you get to host a championship game with a trophy on the line and memories that'll last a lifetime.
Yeah, and then your best neighbors from down the road are coming in to try and spoil the party, aren't they? So it's got all the ingredients of an absolute brilliant game.
Yeah, need to figure out some sort of media blitz, anything. Like, challenge everybody in the triangle, everybody in Charlotte, everybody in earshot of Wakemed Soccer Park to get out here for this one. It is a wonderful facility, world class. Several of the last stops for previous U.S. World Cup men's national teams was right here at Wakemed Soccer Park. It was Bruce Arena's favorite place to go before they would head over. The 2002 World Cup, I'm pretty sure this was their last stop. That was a brilliant World Cup for the USA. The point of that story is they need to figure out a way to pack the place November 5.
Couldn't agree more, Dean. And the players deserve it, right? We'd said we had a big crowd here for the Knoxville game, and Gary McLaughlin scoring at the death to lift the roof off the perch here. It was brilliant. It's what the players deserved, and it gave the fans what they deserved as well. So, got to get them out here. And I was saying Northern Colorado have a good defensive. They're best defense in the league, Dean. So put 3 goals past this Hailstorm team and dominate the game as they have. I think it just probably shows how much that game against Madison last week and then the travel just takes out of you that really, really tough. And then you've got to take your hats off to Charlotte. I mean, to go after their tough game against Greenville, to go to Union Omaha and hang on and get a clean sheet against one of the top scoring teams, incredible.
Hara. I also want to send our best to John Hartz, who announced he's leaving Greenville after amazing success in all 5 years with the club. Fernandez will get it back to Brooks Thompson. For 17 years now, I have been seeing some rendition of how about the Carolina Railhawks or how about the North Carolina FC, and I feel like it's never meant more than right now, knowing what the future holds for John Bradford and this club, Steve Malik, the entire crew, Kurt Johnson. I mean, the future is bright as they head back to USL Championship, and the notion of perhaps capping it off with a USL League One title would be magical. Turning, and they will give up one. Hernandez always finds a way to get one. Hernandez has put Northern Colorado back on the scoreboard, and it's 3-1.
Marky Hernandez never too far away from a goal. Good dummy from Arman. Great touch from Hernandez and a cute finish. It's a little blot on the copy sheet there for NCFC, but you feel like Marky Hernandez wouldn't be a bad signing for NCFC in the future, don't you? Because he loves a goal at Wakemed Soccer Park. Scored a lot of goals for the Red Wolves in previous seasons.
Yeah, he is solid. There it is. How about North Carolina FC? They will host the USL League One Championship game Sunday, November 5th against the Charlotte Independents. One final thought on a brilliant performance from the home team.
Just a great cherry on top of a great season cake for NCFC. It's been a brilliant turnaround and fortunes, and for them to get over the line today in the semi-finals and make it to the USL League One Championship, incredible.
The bracket is complete. The 4-seed Charlotte Independents will head up 85 to I-40 Tobacco Road to Wakemed Soccer Park next Sunday to take on North Carolina FC in the USL League One Championship game, courtesy of a 3-1 win over Northern Colorado. David Garcia gets a brace. Want to thank Jorge Acuna, Joe Ferrara, Dylan Field, Colin Thrash, Ryan Moeller, Andrew Taylor, Kyle Lang, Chris Wash, Brian Ware. For the great Andrew Tate, I'm Dean Linke saying, how about North Carolina FC, a 3-1 winner, and they'll be in the USL League One Championship game Sunday, November 5th against Charlotte.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One. This copyrighted telecast